The reason I'm speaking with you today is I have almost 35 years experience in the direct selling industry. I got started out of the Boston area where I used to be a professional musician, and I was chasing that dream, had one record that did pretty good, but at 29 years old, I woke up one day and realized I wasn't broke. It was below broke. I owed money to everybody. I had a hole through the floor in my car. I couldn't get a credit card. My dad was saying, you gave music a good run, but why don't you go back and finish your degree? And then I was introduced to home-based business. It was important to me when I learned that it didn't take a lot of money to get started because I didn't have a lot. But they also said they would coach and train me. So a friend of mine once said, when the student is ready, the teacher miraculously appears. Well, I was the student that was ready. Hopefully you're ready. And what I learned took me around the world. I've done seminars in Australia, New Zealand, Colombia, Mexico, 18 European countries across the US and Canada. I built a distribution organization of people having home-based businesses that topped over $1 billion plus in sales, over 1 million customers. And recently, I got introduced to the Zinzino business. Now, I shouldn't say recently because I actually knew about the company when it started many, many years ago, around 2005, but it was not the Zinzino that you're going to learn about today. In fact, I was really excited when I learned how Zinzino, brick by brick, with the co-founders, Orion Saleh and Hilda, did a brilliant job of really fine-tuning this opportunity, finding some amazing products that make a difference in people's lives, building a system that has already produced people making thousands of dollars a month. In fact, if you go on to make $1 million or $2 or even $3 million a year in the field, you will not be the first. Now, of course, those results are not typical. The exciting part about this business, even with no experience, if you're just looking for a little extra money, a little extra money to help out with the family, maybe clothing for the kids, maybe a new car, maybe you want to earn enough money to get away from the job that you have. If you want to do that, we can show you the steps to do that as a second part-time income. We should always diversify our income. If you want to go further than that, maybe you want a career change. Maybe this is just it. Maybe you're here because you really genuinely are interested in improving the health of yourself and your family and friends. And I'm telling you, when you hear the science behind Zinzino and the system they have, and when you understand the future of where this is going, you'll understand why we chose Zinzino. So first, let me tell you, when I was looking at Zinzino, the first thing I needed to do, like any business person would do, is you want to know about the company. You first want to know where they're based, who's managing it, what does the finances look like? Most direct selling companies are not publicly traded, so you really do not know if they have the money in the bank or if they have experienced management. You just don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But one of the things I saw with Zinzino is here was a company that was actually traded on the stock market, and it was traded in the NASDAQ in Scandinavia. I realized when I looked at the balance sheets, they were audited and released quarterly to the stock market. So I could look and see that they had $50 million in the bank. I could see the series of decisions they made when I read the annual reports. I was impressed that they had double-digit growth consistently year after year since they started this business. And in the last 10 years, if you were an investor in their stock, you've been getting a dividend. So I saw a strong financial foundation. I saw how they expanded to 45 countries. I learned how they shipped to 100 countries. I realized there was a global possibility for the teammates that I already had, and I could provide opportunity around the world to change people's lives financially. And as you're going to learn soon, I could also change the direction of their health. So when I looked at this, they had all the right associations. They also had the foundations for charity. I realized this was a company with a heart. And also I realized that the ownership, Hilda and Orion, were really smart people. And I got to know them. I went to their home. I toured their facilities. I went through the research laboratory. I had a chance to see the manufacturing and the testing facility and meet the doctors behind this. I really did a deep dive, and I assembled a team of people to help me do the research, and you're going to hear from two of them shortly. But what I really was in awe of when I met Hilda and Orient is just how passionate they were about health and about making a difference for people. And they also were so bright that once they got this company to a certain point, they decided they didn't want to work in the office. He realized he didn't want to be the CEO. In fact, to become a multi-billion-dollar brand, which is the ambition of the company, that he needed to put professional management in place that knew how to get the job done. He decided to stay in the field, just like me and just like you, if you decide to be involved with our company. And Hilda and Orient, brick by brick, have been helping people succeed. They've attracted so many medical professionals, homeopaths, doctors. There's over 1,000 clinics in Germany alone that retail their products and the tests that you're going to learn about. So I saw something unique in the Zinzino opportunity. I saw a company that had grown gradually, brick by brick, all of a sudden got to that place which I call the sweet spot, 176 million euros a year in turnover. And yet I saw this thing positioned to become a multi-billion-dollar brand. Everything in me believes that that's going to be true. And all of us looking at this today have a chance to be part of that. See, in business, they have what they call the bell curve. You can catch something early as an early adopter. And generally, that's the most risk. That's when the investors take their risks, but they take their lumps. Then you can catch it just at the right time. If you do, and if you're lucky, you have something that differentiates yourself, and you can ride that to the top of that bell curve. Now, that's common knowledge. When it's at the top, everyone's aware, and then you probably the big money's already been made. So that's why I would never go out and choose a billion or a multi-billion-dollar company. And there's only a few in direct selling anyway. But I learned their ambitions were far beyond just being the largest direct selling company. They really want to change the planet and humanity by waking them up to something very important in their health regimen. See, they educated me because I didn't come from a health and wellness background. They said, Artie, there's actually 500 million people already taking omega-3 supplements. I happen to be one of them. They said there's over 1 billion people taking vitamins. There's 1.5 billion people using some special type of diet. Then I learned that 6.3 billion people on the planet are already deficient in omega-3, according to the World Health Organization. You might be asking, well, what does that matter? That's a question I asked. I encourage all of you to Google, please Google, the importance of the omega-3 to omega-6 ratio. Now, you're going to hear from someone who's going to talk to you about that, but just Google that, the importance of omega-3 to omega-6. Also Google, what is silent chronic inflammation? Just Google it, silent chronic inflammation, and even ask what's the best approach to dealing with that. And then you're going to realize where Zinzino's positioned in front of a huge need in the world today. And it's not just guest-based. There's so many companies that do vitamins, pills, potions. I used to beat these companies up as I used to be in the service business. And what I realized is that with test-based nutrition, they were differentiating themselves from everybody else. I also thought if you're going to test somebody with a dry blood spot, you better have a product that works, because if it doesn't work and you're testing, you're out of business. So I started digging into this subject and I said, what is the dietary supplement market anyway? Well, it's projected to grow from 167 billion in 2023 to 239 billion in 2028. That's called being at the right place at the right time. And as you start realizing how testing is becoming more known to people, you got to realize that all of us taking supplements, taking omega-3, don't you want to know if you're taking the right amount or if they're even working? What is the effect on the body? We're each different, right? We project this is a mega trend, and that by 2050, 1 billion people will be being tested to see where they are in their nutrition. In our experience, Zinzino has the largest database in the world. They've tested to date, we just topped 1.3 million people have taken our test called the balance test. 97% of people are out of balance. You're going to learn from our guest speaker how we should be between a 3 3-to-1 ratio of omega-6 to omega-3, but the average is closer to 15, 17. In the United States is closer to 25-to-1. So we're massively out of balance from omega-6 to omega-3. And that is a problem. Just Google what I asked you to look up. And then when people start on this product called their Balance Oil, 95% are back in balance. And this is addressing all kinds of issues in the body at the cellular level. That's what I learned. This wasn't a company that was just focusing on weight loss or some other issue. They were trying to get you to have optimum nutritional health at the cellular level. There's a team of researchers and doctors behind Zinzino that I think is unparalleled in the industry. And I started reading about them. I read about Dr. Paul Clayton, who's the chief science officer. And this gentleman pioneered studies in medical journals on how food affects your health and physical performance. At the end of 2023, he put out a recent study on cancer with the Mayo Clinic in the United States. So he's authored more than 200 peer-reviewed medical papers. Also, you should read his books. They're pretty interesting. I met Dr. Colin Robinson. He's the chief scientific research specialist, and he's also a chief product officer. This guy is also an amazing communicator, and he's also working with us in the field to help grow our business. I had a chance to meet Dr. Angela Rizzo when I was in Rome just about 5 or 6 weeks ago. And what an interesting lady. This lady's a professor, an expert in omegas, and she's a professor at the University of Milan and specializes in biochemistry. And she told us how she was part of a team that actually developed the test that we use, a dry blood spot test. And she was part of the project that developed this because they needed a way to test the blood of the astronauts on the space station. So this is, when you dig deeper into Zinzino, you realize how powerful this is. Now, again, when you're researching any business opportunity, we all know we have our expertise. For me, it was marketing, distribution, analyzing businesses like this, but it certainly wasn't analyzing science and what's behind the scenes. So I called a dear friend of mine of over 30 years, Stephen Chiniski, a biochemist, and he and his wife, Natalie Cather, who is a medical doctor specializing in women's issues. She also served as a principal investigator for clinical trials in pharma and natural product area. And for those that don't know Stephen already, he taught clinical nutrition at 2 Southern California universities. He directed the first ever federally licensed clinical laboratory specializing in nutrition and immunology. He's a best-selling author with over 1 million copies in print. He was the president and co-founder of a company in wellness that went to over $1 billion, almost $1 billion a year in sales. And at that company, he worked with a billionaire philanthropist. And from what he told me, he had an unlimited research budget for him. So like a kid in a candy store. And what he did is built the largest medicinal plant-based library in the world. And I reached out to my 2 dear friends and I said, look, I got to find a home for some friends of mine in business, and we need an opportunity. And, we're on overdrive in our research. I got a few other experts helping me with the research in different areas. And I had him look at different companies' products. And he came back to me and said, boy, I can't believe Zinzino is actually a direct selling company. He says what they're doing is pretty remarkable. And he says, Artie, honestly, they don't need our backgrounds in science, but I introduced them to Doug Peterson, who is the CEO of the company, and I introduced them to Orion Sali, and I said, I want you to meet these guys, because we were still just discussing whether or not we would sign in with this opportunity. And they were so impressed with Stephen and Natalie. They said to me, Artie, if you guys don't come to Zinzino, we'll miss you, but we want them on our team. We see what they can do to help us to develop future products and to keep pushing Zinzino to the forefront of this. And so Stephen's going to tell you his story now. So I'm gonna ask Stephen Chiniski if I can bring him on for a second. I got to find him on my screen here. Stephen, are you there?
We are here, Artie.
I'm going to spotlight you for everyone, and I'm going to have you take it from there.
All
Thank you
right.
for joining. So excited to have you on.
Hey, it's my pleasure, Artie. This is the sign that we had on our yard That's the song we had in our yard. We were happy, and we are still happy now. In fact, we're happier now. But the point being is when Art Napolitano calls you, you number one, you take the call. When he's got an opportunity like this, you come out of retirement real fast. And the reason that we're doing that is because of the science. Again, you can imagine Natalie and I are pitched constantly by companies that would like us to be their spokesperson, their R&D directors, their CSO, whatever they want us to do. And it's easy to say no because they didn't have what Zinzino has. What Zinzino has is a way to improve your health at the very foundational level. What is the foundation? It's the cell, right? Go into that first slide, Artie. If you look at the cell, all right, you understand that the cell is the basic fundamental building block of all life, right? Whether you're a plant or an animal, right? The cell is the building block. But the thing is, there's a tremendous amount of traffic that's going in and out of each cell in your body on a daily basis. Now, we put it in simple terms here. We have nutrients going in, we have waste products coming out. And so the idea here is just a very simple way of saying you can improve the efficiency of your cells. It gets much more detailed than that. I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but consider this. There are over 10,000 molecules, different molecules in every cell of your body. Most of them are moving in and out of your body constantly. There's about 1 million water molecules flowing in and out of your cells on a minute by minute basis. There are nutrients going in, there's glucose going in, there's oxygen going in, and all of this incredible amount of traffic has to be managed by the cell membrane. The cell membrane is managing all this traffic. And if that cell membrane has any defects at all, cellular efficiency declines and declines rapidly, which means you're going to have all kinds of problems with what? Inflammation. You're going to have problems with the function of your brain, your hair, your skin, your internal organs, your joints, and all the ligaments in your body that all depend upon this cell functioning perfectly. So imagine the company that identified the critical point. There's multiple points here that we can discuss, but the most critical point is the fatty acid balance. Why? Because the cell membrane is made mostly of fatty acids. And those fatty acids are derived from where? The food you eat. So because most people's diet is far removed from what the ideal diet is designed for, you can imagine the dilemma that people face, and they don't feel it. When you have serious problems, you feel those things, right? But before you have a serious problem, you have a chronic problem. And that is this problem that Zinzino has identified, which is the disruption of the cell membrane, leading to all these issues throughout your body and brain. Now, they didn't just identify the problem, they created the solution. Number one, a test that measures exactly where you are. And look at this 1.3 million tests showing that the world is completely out of balance in this fundamental way. Now, number two, a test to show exactly where you are, and then a product that you can actually take that will produce results that you can see, feel, and objectively measure. Why? Because when you restore this balance, all kinds of benefits start to appear. Your skin, the way you sleep, the way you have energy, the way that you move, your joint comfort, your ability, your range of motion, all of this improves. Why? Because you've restored health at the very foundation of who you are, which is the cell that makes up you. And we're going to talk about this a lot more in the months and years to come because this is an exciting adventure and one that Natalie and I are extremely happy to be part of. So, Artie, next, what do you got?
Well, I
Well,
am.
first of all, Stephen, thank you so much. I mean, for 30 years, we've been friends. And I've looked forward many times. We've had conversations about just finding a way for us to be in business again together, and just our career paths kind of went in different directions around the world. But imagine that we get to come back and finish strong. We get to finish right and change really the world, I think, with this project. So And to have Natalie side by side with you and side by side with us, and thank you for sharing her with us. This is exciting. So, Natalie, if you could take it from here and kind of fill people in on your background and what you see with Zinzino, with how this testing works, and what you see with the protocol, and that would be great.
Well, as a physician, I was metabolically oriented and nutritionally oriented in how I approached health issues and lack of health for my clients and myself. And it was easy to be attracted to Zinzino because we think about the benefits of, we want to see, feel, and measure when it comes to our experience with taking a nutritional product. And so to have the testing, the balance test, that makes this process so much more understandable. And the results are real. And as we talked about, 1.3 million people have done this test already. So when we think about the products, we think about, okay, we want to get ourselves back into balance. We want to have a ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 of 3 to 1. And they have their products, the balance oil, and they also have the capsules for people that are more capsule oriented, the Ascent. And as you showed on the next slide here, these tests, whether it's the balance test to look at the essential fatty acids, or the hemoglobin A1C, or the vitamin D test, these are all dried blood spot tests that you do at home, so you don't have to go somewhere and have your blood drawn. You do them at home, and the results come back to you in 10 to 20 days, and you get the results on your phone. You go to a website, zinzinotest.com, and it's totally anonymous, and you get to see how you change your health. I'm going to talk about the Health Protocol Premium Kit, and I really like that kit because it comes with a balance test with the initial purchase, and then 4 months later or 120 days later, you get a second test so you can see your improvements. The balance oil is their hero product, and 70% of their sales are with the Balance Oil Plus. And what's unique about this fish oil is it's so much more than that. It's more like eating fatty fish because it has the polyphenols with it. And because of that, it is fresh and not fishy, and it has greater stability. So you can see in this chart, whereas krill oil only has a stability of being in your body for 5 hours, balance oil persists for 35 hours. So yes, after you open it, it does need to be refrigerated. All right, I love the Health Protocol Premium Kit, and here's why. Not only does it have the wonderful balance oil in it, a 300 milliliter bottle, and the dosing on this, by the way, is 10 milliliters for a 150-pound person, but it also contains 2 boxes of the Extend, which is like a multivitamin plus immunity. And after the COVID pandemic, or even during the pandemic, a lot of people really began to realize how important nutrition is, especially when it comes to supporting the immune system. And it's not just cold and flu season. Now they understand it's every day, it's all year round. And Extend helps with that, helping promote a better immune system. You also get the Xenobiotic, which also is important for immune system. All health issues start in the gut because that is where we absorb our nutrients. And so the Xenobiotic is a prebiotic, which means it gives the good bacteria of the gut the nutrients they need to do their job right, to improve the ecology of the gut and make them want to make more good bacteria. And then the fourth product,
Oh.
see, feel, and measure. 1 tablet changed my life. So the dosing for adults is 2 tablets up to 3 times a day. But I found that even just with 1 tablet, I take it at bedtime, I get great sleep. And for me, that wonderful happiness energy just persists throughout the day. A lot of people don't understand how important it is to control anxiety and promote happiness. When we are anxious, our brains tend to behave more like we are suffering dementia. We have more cognition problems. When we're anxious, it's more difficult to find our car keys. But by controlling anxiety and giving the neurologic system what it likes, our nervous system, then we can perform better and life is more fun. So please, when you sign up for your auto ship, please get the Health Protocol Premium Pack. And as I mentioned before, you'll get 2 balance tests with that, one with your initial purchase, and then the second one 120 days later, so you can see your results. We are fortunate that there's 15 claims that are approved by the European Food Safety Administration, but just focus on the first 3 here, the green ones. These products support optimal and healthy immune function. Yes. Healthy brain function. Yes. Healthy heart function. It's an excellent program that is real, and you can see the results, you can feel the results, and you can measure them.
And tell everyone.
And tell everyone.
Well, Stephen, Natalie, I am so excited to have you on the team, for us to be in business for really the run of our lives now, and to extend everyone to better health and better wealth, because we're going to now move forward and talk a little bit more about the business plan. Thank you for joining us today and being part of the Zinzino Scientific Advisory Board. For me, I've been fortunate in business. I really have had economic success, but a lot of it is not because I'm that great. We can all be better, right? But being at the right place at the right time just makes life easier. And when I realized Zinzino was already around 500,000 customers, and when I learned that these are the stickiest customers on the planet, meaning that when people get on the product, that, like Natalie said, they see the difference: skin, hair, nails, aches, pains, all these things. The testimonies are all over the place. They're varied. But when you can test and see the result, and what we're doing is really educating people. We're knowledge brokers to educate people about this important subject. I'm not even trying to sell the products. I'm just educating people, Googling like I asked you to Google, and then saying, hey, what if I have a solution? An affordable solution. Well, when I talked to the owners of Zinzino and the CEO, they said, our vision in 2050 is to have 100 million customers. I said, that'd make you guys about a $40 billion company. And they said, well, we'll get there faster if you come on board. But I said, well, thank you, but you'd be so much bigger than every other direct selling company. And Dog says to me, we're not measuring ourselves against other network marketing companies, Artie. We have a lot of going on in R&D. We're not just a direct selling company. We're a science company that's using direct selling to get our message out there and to change the world. So that's being at the right place at the right time. Now, I have another gentleman I want to talk to you about from the United States. And I talked to him about Zinzino, and he's an athlete. He's a friend of mine. I said, there's all kinds of brand ambassadors, I think over 200. None of them are paid. In fact, there's the Manchester City Football Club and Premier League Club and many others that buy the products full retail. I actually saw an invoice for over 2,500 pounds. So I know that these athletes realize how important this balance is to peak performance. So I had a chance to talk to my friend Todd Stottlemyre. He's a professional athlete, pitched in the major leagues 15 years, won 2 World Series with the Toronto Blue Jays, 1 with Arizona, but he's also a world-class entrepreneur. He's a former stock market analyst for Merrill Lynch. He actually founded a hedge fund. He's been on the board of many companies. He's also was the co-founder of a genetics testing company. He's also been a regional vice president of a direct selling business, and he's also co-founder and currently an active CEO for the Koibito Poke Franchise Corporation. So with that, Todd, are you on with me today? I want to introduce you to our team around the world. Where are you, Todd?
I am, sir. Can you hear me okay?
We can. I'm going to spotlight you, Todd.
All right. Well, I don't know about being in the spotlight, but I'll say Artie, Stephen, Natalie, humbled. I'm honored to just share a few seconds of my time with all of you guys, and of course, all the people from around the world. Artie, all your friends. Look, kind of like Artie said, I grew up in a place called Yankee Stadium. My father, Mel Stottlemyre, was a legendary pitcher for the Yankees in the 60s and 70s. He was a 3-time 20-game winner as a pitcher. He was a 5-time All-Star. He was actually a 5-time world champion. When you grow up in that environment and you're going to Yankee Stadium every day, you begin to dream. And my dream was very simple. I just want to follow in my father's footsteps. I wanted to play Major League Baseball. And that dream really started from the time I could walk. And you know, I got a chance. I was very blessed and I'm grateful that I got a chance to live out that dream. But that dream also came with lots of different aches and pains along the way. What I'm talking about is I actually had 9 different surgeries over the course of my career. And what I will tell you is that the medical professionals, part of our ball club, you know, emphasized that I consumed massive amounts of anti-inflammatories to deal with pain and inflammation that was running through my body from injury so that I could perform at the highest level. Now, here's what was really curious and interesting to me is they also tested me. And today we're hearing about test-based nutrition. Well, I was also tested, but they weren't testing to see how the inflammation was responding in my body. They were actually testing my kidneys and my liver every single month to see the damage that the drugs were doing to my system just so I could perform at the highest level. Look, I didn't just come from a baseball family, and although I'm grateful for my background, I also come from a family of cancer. Actually, my father passed of cancer. His brother passed of cancer. My mom's brother passed of cancer. My older brother has gotten cancer. My dad's youngest brother has also gotten cancer. I'm the only male standing without cancer. So, you know, obviously my health, my nutrition, my fitness is very important to me. Today, you know, actually, like I already said, I'm the CEO of Coibito Poke. You know, our mission is very simple, and our mission is to give people a healthy alternative to eat what's actually good for them. We actually serve raw fish, salmon, the tuna, the shrimp, and all of the things that you get your omega-3. So I believe that by being the CEO of Coibito Poke and launching franchises literally around the world, we're the masters of serving food that is actually rich in what we all need, which is omega-3s. But when my friend Artie called me and he started telling me about this company, Zenzino, he said, Todd, it's test-based versus guest-based. I'm going to tell you something. I couldn't help but get started fast enough. He said there's a fatty acid test to measure chronic inflammation where 6.3 billion people on the planet have a problem. And I thought, man. And then he said, Zenzino doesn't just test, Todd. He said they've created a product that is the solution to the problem. And when he said that, it was like I just remembered one of my mentors once told me, he said, Todd, if you want to make a lot of money, like a lot of money, then you need to solve a problem for a lot of people. And Zenzino has identified a problem where 6.3 billion people on the planet have that problem, but they didn't stop with the test. They then went into the lab and they literally created a solution at the root of the problem, which creates a staggering opportunity for all of us today that are hearing this information. One of the things that I like to teach in my leadership classes is I always tell people, I say, you got to find the leader. You got to find someone who has done something that you're trying to achieve to do and model that leader. Well, that's Art Napolitano. See, because Artie is an absolute professional. He's probably the greatest professional to ever enter this industry. Matter of fact, he has mastered building distribution centers literally around the world. So allow me to turn it back to my good friend who's a Boston Red Sox fan, but let me turn it back to the Mickey Mantle, a New York Yankee of network marketing, my good friend, Art Napolitano.
Hey, Todd, first of all, I'm incredibly humbled by those words. And you know better than anyone, as good as any one person is, you don't win in a team sport. You have to have people that win all around you. And in this type of marketing, you're only as good as your team. No one person can make a lot of money or make a big enough difference on their own. But through a shared message, through the power of this type of distribution, we can change a lot of people's lives and win together. Help enough other people get what they want, you get what you want. That's always been the core fundamental of this distribution system. So Todd, having you on this team to help coach and inspire people, I couldn't be happier. So again, thank you for being on this call. Listen, I'm gonna head into the next section, guys, for those that are still with us here. When again, I looked at the business, step one, I said, is it a proven company? I don't want to be part of a startup. Check. Are the products proven? Yes. Is there a concept? Is this concept proven? Is it different? Yes. Is there proven earnings potential? Yes. I'm going to show you all levels of earnings now. Most importantly, is it positioned for growth? Yes. So I'm going to now show you a little bit about how to start the business. If you're excited about the company, the idea of representing this business and trying the products and sharing the products, let me teach you how you make money with the business. First of all, you make an investment in yourself. Now, you can get a license or an online store, shop as they call it in Europe. There's no fee for that. And then you could build the business from nothing. But it makes no sense not to use the products. It makes no sense not to have the products on hand just in case you want to retail the products. And so the company gives us three great options to start. One is called a basic partner pack or kit. One's called an advanced partner, and one's called the ultimate partner. They range from $325 to $995 US. That's what the pricing is. Okay. Now, the way most of us are starting, the real business builders are starting with the ultimate partner kit because you get 10 of these tests. The test retails in the full price is $185 just on the retail value of that test alone. But you'll also get a variety of things like the energy bars, some of the lean shake, which is a meal replacement shake for weight loss. We get some of the skin serum. The things Natalie talked about are all in there, but you save 72% on that package, and this is the best value. If you start with the advanced package, yes, it's a little bit lower price, but you don't get the tests that you get in the big pack, and then the basic partner kit, you only get one. So again, if you're going to start a business, invest in yourself. This is your business. Now, I want to give notice to the United States, the viewers from the US. The price is going to increase after April 2nd. It's going from $995 to $1150, the way it is the rest of the world. So the package is adjusted a little bit as well, but you're still getting over $3,000 worth of retail value for $1150. But here's one of the big reasons people start there. You can earn a loyalty refund when you acquire 25 premier customers. A premier customer, in definition, is just a customer on a subscription, meaning they're ordering every month the product. First of all, the incentive is to get a big discount on the product. But when you get to 25 customers and the motivation is to do that within a year, you will recoup all that money. All that starter fee goes right back in your pocket at the end of that 1 year. So that's why another reason we all start there. Now, the building of the business, if you have a business or you've been in this kind of business, there's always some requirements to do something to get paid on the commissions of your organization. If you're starting to take your online shop and just retail, I'm going to show you how to make money doing that. But if you're going to start building a network of shops where you sponsor some, and then you want to earn overrides, like building a franchise network, there's always some kind of qualification in every company. What I love about Zinzino, it's as simple as being on an auto order of one product a month. Now, that allows you to participate in what they call the Fast Start program, which I'll go through in detail. But what do you get for $79 a month in the United States? First of all, you're going to get a test every 4 months. Think about the retail value is $185 on that. And you get the product of the balance oil. So you get the test month 1, you get the test at the beginning of month 5 after 120 days. We want you tested again because we want you to document your results of change. 95% of people see, feel, and experience the difference all along the way, but they get the test result in 4 months, and then they don't have to guess if it worked. They know it worked. This also covers all the costs for your back office, what they call their Go Core application, and which is for personal and professional development. So it's a whole package for just $79. We encourage people to do that right away. But why pay $79 a month when you can get it for free? Let me show you how to get it for free. We wanted to sign 4 premier customers, 4 customers on subscription. The sooner you do that, the sooner your product is free. Natalie talked about the health protocol. Soon as I signed up and got my pack, I set up my auto order, and immediately I went on and got 4 more products, the health protocol, for myself. Why? Because I wanted to be on the health protocol. I wanted the benefit of good health and good nutrition. I wanted to be optimized for that. So I did that day one, and now my $79 fee is now free every month, and I get a test every 4 months that I can use for my business or use it myself. Now let's talk about making money with the business. Let's talk about what we get paid for getting customers, and let's talk about what we get paid and how we build a team. 50% of all the revenue that comes into the company from the customers, 50% is paid back to the field, to the distributors, to the people that bring the customers and build the network. Okay, this comes back in commissions as well as incentive trips. So let's talk about the people that do not want to build an organization. They just want to represent the company and get customers. There are people like that. In fact, I know in Germany, there's over 1,000 clinics selling the product that don't care that this is a networking company or direct selling company. Now, when they just get 0 to 24 customers, you're only making a 10% cash bonus, they call it. I call it a retail commission. Okay, what you want to do is get to 25. Obviously, for the reason we said, you can recoup all your startup costs for the ultimate pack, but they also double the reorder commissions on all the products being sold throughout your organization. Now, once you get to 25, you're already at about a $250 a month residual for those 25 customers. That's what you'll be at by getting up to 25 at a 20% override. Now, keep pushing. They call you A team there. Now go to Pro Team. At Pro Team, they increase your cash bonus to 25%. You're at about $345 a month, and that's an average of $4,370 average earnings for people that just make Pro Team. Now, these are the titles for just you based on your personal customers through your online store. Now, everyone should have a goal of 100 customers. Now, by the way, a customer is a product. So if I'm on the health protocol with 4 products, I count as 4 customers. So, products are customers, customers are products. Every customer, every product is a point. So we can look at it that way. When you get to 100 product points or 100 products on subscription, you move from 25 to 30% on all the reorders. You're making commission on that every month. That's going to give you about $9,000 a month. But there's also a huge bonus that kicks in. You get a one-time $11,500 bonus. Now, they don't pay it to you at once, but they pay $460 a month. In Europe, I believe it's 400 euros a month. But you get paid that for 25 months in a row, which is incredible. So this obviously keeps you motivated for the next 2 years. So I looked and added it all up. It's almost $1,000 a month. And by the way, you can push on to the next level of top team 200 customers. It's the only company I've seen in this industry where you can earn a trip for just getting customers. Next trip is going to be in Thailand, so you can qualify for that. But at this level, you're earning about $21,000 a year in commissions. Not bad for a part-time business. So now you can see why chiropractors, even dentists, because this has also impact on gum health and mouth health. There's so many professionals that just market the product because it's a professional test. They get a professional report on their fatty acids. They give you helpful information. When I got that test back and I saw all the information when I was 12 to 1 and taking omega-3s, I was just hooked in. I wanted to see what my next test was. I was following the advice of how to get my body healthier. So again, this is just for retail for those that are interested. Every extra 100 customers will put another $575 in commissions in residual in your pocket. So again, a very lucrative and fair way of getting compensated for just getting customers. So most of your sales are going to come in the beginning from getting customers, but also for building your organization. When people buy those basic, advanced, and then ultimate kits, those packages, I call that the wholesale business. When a new shop opens, they want to stock their store, they want to get some product, they want to share that product, they want to use that product, experience the results. That's a different income stream. What we just talked about is just from the products. But let's look at what can happen in our Fast Start program. There's a lot of moving parts to our comp plan, but if you learn this piece, you can become massively successful. So what happens here? We want you to go qualify, Q team, get qualified. And they give you 30 days to do this. I do this the first day when I sponsor the people I sponsor, because what I tell them is up front, we're going to get a pack. We're going to get your auto order. We're going to order your 4 products, get you on health protocol, get maybe one. Sometimes you need a 5th product to get over the 20 credits, because there's a value, a credit value of a commissionable value or credit value of each product. It's got to be equal or greater to what you're ordering. So when I did that right off the bat, not only did I get my auto order for free, I got a $115 bonus. I said, that's a pretty good deal. And then, of course, maybe your wife, your husband, your family want products as well. But it was really easy to do this first step. What was the second step? Okay, build a network. Is it better to just own the franchise and sell the hamburgers or sell the poke? Or is it better to also duplicate the shop and earn a small commission on all the shops in your network? That's what a franchise corporation does. They help their shop owners earn money. They earn the biggest percentage of that money, and then they earn a small percentage override. That's what we're doing by building a network distribution to get the word out about Zinzino. So we want to introduce 2 people. This is called a binary system. We sponsor an A, we sponsor a B. We want them to get an enrollment pack. That's one of the 3 kits, basic, advanced, or ultimate. There's 1 point for the basic, 2 points for the advanced, 3 points for the ultimate. These are called enrollment points. You need to create personally through your sponsorship 6 enrollment points. The easiest way, sponsor A with an ultimate, B with an ultimate, 6 points, $460 based on your commission override on that product. Okay, that's basically a wholesale commission of $460. That goes with a $150. That's a promotional thing that's going on right now, so we need to take advantage of it. Okay, now what do? We want to go out and help those 2 people sponsor 2 people. Now, when that happens, we want to just duplicate exactly what we did, each with an ultimate pack. Any 4 from you, A or B will do. Again, if you get the smaller packs, it's just less points and you need more people. But if we can do all 3 steps, you're getting 115, 460, and now 1380. And they say 90 days. I got people doing it in a week. I got people doing it in 2 weeks. Now, that's people with experience and fairness. But the plan I'm going to show you, we can compress this into a 60-day window, even a 30-day window, and we are going to create some incredible success. You need to stay with me through the full training. Step 4 of the Fast Start is just get some more customers. Talk to mom, dad, brother, sister, share the news. I'm up here at a holiday weekend in the state of Maine visiting my dad and my family. I brought a bunch of balance tests. Why? I'm not trying to sell them anything. I'm just concerned for them. I love them. I want them to know what I know about this subject. I want them to Google and read it themselves. I don't want them to feel like I'm trying to sell anything. But if they take that test and they see the number for themselves, then it's their choice to do something about it or not. I know we have a proven solution for them. So what happened to me and Stacy is I said, Stacy, I got the health protocol system day 1. I got my auto order for free. I know you want to be on the same products. She says, yeah, but I also want to try the skincare, and let's try the meal replacement shakes and maybe some bars. Next thing you know, we had another 6 products. In the first day we joined, we actually did step 1 and step 4 right out of the gate because she became my customer. And so that added up to a commission of a Fast Start of $21.28 with all the other bonuses that we'll explain later. All of it came up to about $2,875. I know you heard Todd Stottlemyre. You're not going to be surprised. He pulled that off in just like a week or so. He said they give you 120 days for that. That's kind of ridiculous, but okay. Let's compress that into 30 days. but I'm going to let you have a 60-day window. And if you stay with me at the end of this talk today, I'm going to show you a business plan to get to a position called Black Crown. I'll show you how to create a residual income that can go over $20,000 a month within a year. Now, results are not typical. It's based on math. It's based on the system. But I know this business. I know how to teach this business, and I teach it as a duplication system to maximize profits for everybody. So I want you to stay with me and learn through that. So that's what's called our fast start. When you do this, you go through what's called Q team, X team with your partner, with your customer titles. On your business building titles, which is a separate set of titles, you've already accomplished bronze, and now you're called a silver in the business. Okay, as a silver in the business, you're going to be at around $230 a month in residual. On top of all the fast start, you're now going to have a monthly residual for the reorders of everybody using at around $230. Now, silver is the key to duplication. Our business is about a lot of people doing a little bit. What do we do now? We create 4 of these silvers. The faster we do it, the faster you get promoted to executive. I know my friend Linda Pelton is just this close from it right now. That's $920 a month residual. My friend in France, Said, is on here in Paris. She did this, I just learned, in 5 days. So again, we have some experience, but this shows you what is possible with it. Now, we got to build our customer base to keep that kind of income, but an executive would be making around $920 a month residual. If you continue on to diamond, that's for executives, you're at $4,600 per month. Okay, that's going to take you a little over 2,000 customers to maintain that. If you get 4 of these diamonds, you make crown, you're at $13,800 per month. And I'm going to show you how to become what's called the Black Crown in 1 year and earn even more than that. And it's a system, it's duplicatable. So that's going to be the end of my training later today. So to go from bronze to Black Crown, if you can see my screen here, you have to advance all these different titles, and a Black Crown is $23,000. There are titles where you can go all the way to over $100,000 a month. When I saw this from Zinzino, I said, okay, these are positions in the pay plan based on customers. A lot of customers using products. And I calculated how many customers at each level. And then I realized if someone was to become a $1 million a year earner, which I've been in the past in other companies, I've been a multi-million-dollar a year earner. I said, it's already been done. I don't have to prove it. It's proven. I just need to learn what they do and maybe improve a little bit on even what they do. I know people could make incredible amounts, but you only do that when you help somebody make $300 to $500 a month. And you help those people that make 300 to 500 learn how to make 500 to 1,000. And then the sky's the limit. There's such an incredible program here. I will show you how to do these. These are actual average earnings based on all these positions.